Greetings and salutations. Grace unto you and peace from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. This is Wesley Webb, pastor of the Grace Baptist Church in Greater Downtown Metropolitan McBee, South Carolina, and welcome to the High Grounds Podcast and today's Morning Minute Meditation. Now, I'm interested today in Daniel chapter number 3. You know the story: Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, Nebuchadnezzar, the golden image, bow down and worship, cast into the burning fiery furnace. If you don't, you know the story. If you will, look with me in verse 16, 17, and 18. There's something here that I want to point out. The Bible said in verse 16, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we are not careful to answer thee in this matter. If it be so that God, whom we serve, is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and he will deliver us out of thine hand, O king. But if not, be it known unto thee, O king, that we will not serve thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. Now, in verse 17, they tell the king that God is able to deliver them and that they full well expect that he will deliver them. But then in verse number 18, they say, but if not, as if to say, but if he doesn't. We believe God's going to deliver us from your hand, O king. We believe God's going to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace. But even if he doesn't, we're not going to bow to your image. We know God can, but what if he doesn't? Of a truth, God may. God may not. What if he doesn't? Have you ever considered what you will do if he doesn't do some certain thing for you, some certain thing you've been praying for, some certain thing that you believe he can do and will do? What are you going to do if he doesn't? What if it's the will of God for you to walk through the fire instead of being spared from the fire? In our text, we see providence. God didn't save them from the fire, but he did protect them in the fire. God didn't keep them from being bound, but he did break the bonds. God didn't do it their way, but he did do it his way. God did make them walk through the fire, but he didn't let them walk through it alone. Providence. Further, in our text, you see purpose. Because these young men allowed God to have his will in their lives, God was able to use them to see Nebuchadnezzar get saved. And in our text, you see promotion. Because they trusted God with their lives, God entrusted them with more in their lives as they're promoted in the province of Babylon in verse number 30. So what's the lesson for us to learn here? The will of God is greater, more important, and trumps our prayers and even our faith. It's not that God can't, but sometimes he doesn't. Why? Because his will, in his will, he is working for a greater purpose. Well, that's all for today's Morning Minute Meditation. Y'all have a great day, and remember, it is what it is.